Joe Biden is leaving office making the strongest possible case for Donald Trump that anybody could possibly make it, and that's that our government and our justice system is of, by, and for the elites and nobody else. He ran to banish Trumpism from our political system in this country, and he has left it politically and now institutionally the strongest possible political force in this country. It is a complete and utter failure by the head of the Democratic Party and the President of the United States. Never again do I want to hear, oh, Donald Trump's a liar. You can't believe anything he says. Donald Trump will abuse his power. Donald Trump will only use the system to benefit himself and his family and so on and so forth. Never again. I have one question for Karen, and that is, why did he need an 11-year blanket pardon going back to 2014 when Joe Biden was the vice president? We are sitting on the biggest cover-up of who knows what crimes, and Joe Biden amazingly knows exactly, roughly, when it started. He knows just about when it all started. He's leaving office in complete and total disgrace. He is a liar, and there is no other way to spin this today. This has nothing to do with Trump and everything to do with the character of Joe Biden.
I know what you're thinking. Already a follow-up video, Kenny? I have to do this. Scott Jennings completely shut down this Democrat shill, as you saw from the intro. The narratives the Democrats like to portray, and I did this in my first video of the day, that Joe Biden's pardon has damaged the Democratic brand even further. Like, we thought you couldn't get it couldn't get worse for the Democrats, right? A smart person will think to themselves, how can I not make a situation worse? The American people already repudiated the Democratic narrative about Donald Trump and all this stuff. Oh, he's the threat to democracy and all that. The American people didn't believe y'all. And then you further destroy your brand by allowing the head of the party, Joe Biden, to pardon his son, even though months ago you guys were touting him as some man of character. He's a better statesman than Donald Trump. And I said this on X, all right? Maybe I have it up here. No, I don't have it up here, but it doesn't matter. I know what I said. The Democrats are treating blaming Trump as a get out of jail free card, like as if it absolves them of any responsibility to hold themselves to their own standard that they portray, right? And this is the kind of gibberish that gets Democrats in trouble. And I mentioned in my first video, the Democrats got a lot of lies that's catching up to them. Let's look at this clip here where you saw them fawning over Joe Biden, saying, oh, all these false narratives that the Republicans are trying to say. Republicans called it down the line. Yo, we'll see what happens after election. Joe Biden's going to pardon his son. Actually, Joe Biden already said he wasn't going to pardon his son. What's your excuse now, DNC Shills?
Presidential promise to put the law before family.
I said I abide by the jury decision. I will do that, and I will not pardon him.
Letting the world know that he will not wipe away the decision of 12 of his son's peers.
Was asked directly, and he has said he wouldn't pardon his son if he gets convicted.
Let's wait and see what happens if he loses.
Yeah, but he said it.
He's going to get pardoned by his dad. There's no question about that.
The president has ruled out pardoning his son. Major commitment from the president, accepting the outcome of the trial and also pledging not to pardon his son. The contrast is profound. To sit there and say, I'm not going to intervene in the legal process, and I wouldn't pardon my son. One side, Democrats and Joe Biden protecting the justice system. And on the other, Republicans and Trump protecting Trump.
So yeah, that was the Democrats, right? Biden already said, and then if you differ from this, hey, I think Biden's actually going to pardon his son. Let's see after election. No, Biden already said he wouldn't pardon his son. 6 months later, he pardoned his son. Like, how the hell you lay the blame at Trump's feet? These people don't make sense. And this is what happens when your whole brand has become but Trump. Literally, you got Democrats from Roland Martin, all these black Democrats, all these liberals online on X trying to make excuses for this stuff. They finished using, when it was going against Trump, they were saying no one's above the law. Apparently, Hunter Biden is above the law. Apparently, Democrats are above the law, because the same pattern keeps repeating itself over and over again, and people are tired of it. When we saw it happen with Hillary Clinton, damn, you let her destroy evidence? And we shouldn't prosecute her because then it'll cause political whatever retribution. It wouldn't be good politically. So Donald Trump, even though he said he wanted to prosecute Hillary Clinton, he didn't. Then Trump loses 2020. He steps down. People's like, oh look, Adam Schiff. Remember Adam Schiff? Oh, we gotta watch out if Donald Trump pardons himself. Donald Trump didn't pardon himself. And many people are seeing this accurately, like I do, that Joe Biden is doing this to protect his own skin, not only protecting his son, but also his own involvement. And people are calling it out. And this is the kind of conversation you'll get online, on social media, but you're not going to hear this talking point on CNN or media unless it's Scott Jennings talking about it.
There are Democrats saying they're not happy that President Biden made this decision.
Yeah, well, tough. The president went ahead and did what he thought was right for him and to protect his son.
Joe Biden is leaving office making the strongest possible case for Donald Trump that anybody could possibly make it, and that's that our government and our justice system is of, by, and for the elites and nobody else. He ran to banish Trumpism from our political system in this country, and he has left it politically and now institutionally the strongest possible political force in this country. It is a complete and utter failure by the head of the Democratic Party and the President of the United States. Never again do I want to hear, oh, Donald Trump's a liar. You can't believe anything he says. Donald Trump will abuse his power. Donald Trump will only use the system to benefit himself and his family and so on and so forth. Never again.
I don't understand how Democrats still have the goal to be trying to preach this moral superiority. You have no moral superiority here. Now you have to back up everything you say with some type of evidence. Okay, what makes this bad that Donald Trump is doing? Because you say it's bad, therefore it's bad. No, you lost that moral compass. That we knew Democrats had no really moral superiority, but this pretentious, this appearance of moral superiority is completely destroyed with what Joe Biden has done. And I stated in my first video, this has damaged the brand further for the Democrats. The Democrats was already a sinking ship, but Joe Biden is like killing two birds with one stone. I can continue destroying the party that ousted me from my aspirations for a re-election, and at the same time gets to absolve my son and myself of culpability for our crimes that we committed 11 years ago. And Democrats don't see the problem here. They still thinking, but Trump, look over there, look over there. No. We're looking at the sinking ship called the Democratic Party. And when I said, I remember I made a video about how Kamala Harris' campaign is going to collapse. But who knew that Joe Biden will finish the job? Like, it's crazy. Not only is he botched the Afghanistan withdrawal, but it seems like he's botching any future chances of Democrats ever winning an election in at least the next election. This stuff is going to hurt the Democratic Party for a long time because all the Democrats, all the shills online, all the media apparatus, and then they're going to complain, oh, why does conservatives trust alternative media more than the mainstream legacy media? Because the mainstream legacy media don't have any strong criticisms for what Democrats do, but they only seem to reserve that for Republicans. And we are noticing the inconsistent treatment you give both sides. I would not have an argument. I would not even have a small platform that I do. I wouldn't have it if the media just covered candidates the same. If you're going to be critical of Republicans, be critical of Democrats. But you can't do this, oh, you're fawning over Democrats. You're making an excuse, oh my God, he did what he thought was right. Where was that for Trump? We may not agree with mass deportation, but Trump is doing what he thinks is right. They don't do that. They tell you all the negatives of what Trump's going to do, but they tell you nothing about Democrats. We did research on media. 87% of the time they cover Donald Trump negatively. 87% of the time they cover Kamala Harris and the Democrats positively. So if you have disproportionate outcomes, doesn't that cause conflict of interest? Doesn't that not give further evidence of bias that many people feel that they can't trust media because they believe it's a biased institution. Journalism has been ousted as the most liberal profession, yet they want to sit here and pretend that they're impartial. And the coverage of this just further gives evidence to this credence. And this is what Joe Walsh, the Republican from Illinois, was pointing out, that you just destroyed any position. You just discredit your whole messaging on Trump because of the actions of Joe Biden. This is why smart people look at actions, not words. But I continue.
I have one question for Karen, and that is, why did he need an 11-year blanket pardon going back to 2014 when Joe Biden was the vice president?
Exactly.
We are sitting on the biggest cover-up of who knows what crimes, and Joe Biden amazingly knows exactly, roughly, when it started. He knows just about when it all started. He's leaving office in complete and total disgrace. He is a liar, and there is no other way to spin this today. This has nothing to do with Trump and everything to do with the character of Joe Biden.
That Republicans have been, for years now, trying to attack
Full and unconditional pardon.
the president himself, go after his family. And when you have someone who literally ran their campaign on retribution, on the idea of I will be your retribution and getting back at his enemies, I would imagine, obviously I haven't spoken to the president about this, but I would imagine the president took a look at this and said, I want to make sure this is...
Then Trump had the same excuse. Trump could have said, yo, look at all the messaging. These people say they're going to come at me. Look at, they already did it with Russiagate. They accused me of a crime I didn't do. They made up stuff to try to get at me. The Steele dossier, Adam Schiff, they're coming after me. Tried 2 failed impeachments. If I step out of office, if I don't pardon myself, Donald Trump could have had the same argument. If I don't pardon myself, you guys are going to come after me. He didn't. And then Trump didn't pardon himself. And then what y'all did? Y'all waited. 2021 passed by. Y'all didn't do nothing. 2022 passed by. Y'all didn't do nothing. 2023, the minute the man said I'm running for office again, boom, we raided Mar-a-Lago. Boom, we're trying to get him off the ballots. We're trying to prosecute him. 34 counts. Donald Trump can make the same excuse. So all this blaming, Trump, but Trump didn't do this. Trump had a chance to do the same thing that Biden's doing right now. But Trump didn't do it. But in their same breath, they're going to say it's because of Trump that Biden has to do this. Make it make sense.
Ironclad that there is nothing that can be done to circumvent what I'm going to do to protect my son and to try to take the target off of his back once and for all. So that's my reading of it. But again, I think that the hypocrisy here, it is astounding. I mean, Donald Trump has said and done things, said things and done other.
You can't give me an example, but I gave you an example. Trump had the same opportunity in 2020. What Adam Schiff said, if Donald Trump pardon himself, we will have to take a look at those powers. They were thinking about trying somehow taking the ability for the president to pardon people out of Donald Trump's hands because they were fearful that Donald Trump will pardon himself. And they said that if you pardon, this is what I love about Democrats, because their lies always catch up to them. Their false narratives always shows how they're projecting their inadequacies, their guilt onto other people. Adam Schiff, and I quote, said that if you have to pardon yourself, that's almost an admission of guilt of wrongdoing. Okay, I'm taking Adam Schiff at his word. Okay, Biden doing this shows that there's an admission of guilt that he was involved with the Hunter Biden scandal with Burisma. That if you don't give him the billion, if you don't fire the prosecutors, you don't get $1 billion. Right? We taking Adam Schiff's word for it. But here they are. Oh, Trump. But Trump had the same opportunity. But he didn't do it. So what's your excuse? Trump. Okay. Everything's Trump's fault, huh? Blame Trump. When all else fell for the Democrat, blame Trump. When you can't make sense for why your actions don't match your words, blame Trump. Is that what the Democratic Party is going to be about? This is one of the reasons why I also voted for Trump, is that I know that y'all will never give Trump this amount of slack. That's one thing I do know. I know that Donald Trump will be held fully accountable by both sides. While with the Democratic nominee, whoever it is, will only be accountable by one side. The other side won't hold them accountable. They don't hold themselves accountable. But they're sitting here looking at Republicans.
Other things. And again, he's a convicted felon himself. He has used his power to benefit his friends, his wealthy allies. In this instance, we're talking about a man who decided to take care of his son after years of unrelenting attacks. I don't blame him.
You guys can spend all day long trying to spin this, that this is Donald Trump's fault, that this is somehow caused by Donald Trump. Oh, he's appointing the wrong people. Oh, he did it. Oh, this is the worst possible thing a president could possibly do to his party and to the country, to sit for a year and say, I will not do this. I will not do this. The rule of law is sacred. We have to respect the justice system. Juries, we have to respect juries. We have to respect the guardrails and the norms of our democracy. These people are liars. Inflation, it's transitory. Afghanistan, it's a success. The border is secure. Robert Hur is a liar. The videos are cheap fakes. Biden has a cold. He'll never drop out. Oh, I'll never pardon Hunter. It's all a lie. It is all a grift. Every American, except the most partisan, brain-rotted people, are going to be outraged by this today.
Essentially a Democrat.
He is going to leave off. You think 38, 39% job approval is bad? Just you wait. Just you wait. He's disgraced today. Outrageous. Are you fine with the lying? Are you fine with him sitting before the election all year and lying to the American people? Are you fine with the lying about it?
I don't think that he was lying. I think he made a decision after the fact. And
he was lying. You see, this is what I'm talking about. They'll never give Trump this grace. This is why I voted for Trump. The fact that you won't give Trump this grace is the reason why I voted for him. Because I know, you're going to go after Trump. If Trump make a misstep, if Trump even mess up, y'all going to get on his A. He going to be held accountable. But Joe Biden and Democrats, y'all don't get held accountable for nothing. So I can't trust y'all. Because all I know is you're going to get nothing but positive coverage. They're always going to look at you positively, right? The bar for negative coverage is so much higher for Democrats. While with Republicans, all you got to do is say you just misspoke. You misspoke and you're a bad guy. That's how the media covers Republicans.
Decided this was the right thing for him and for his family. Period. Full stop. Donald Trump decided that it was okay to pardon
Joe Biden, Karine Jean-Pierre. How many minutes of tape do we have of both of these people telling the American people this will not happen? It's I mean, we could play it all morning. It's a lie, and it's a lie to benefit his own family, and that's all that it is. And everybody who went on TV and said, oh, look how he's the modern George Washington. He's drained every ounce of credibility from every surrogate. If Karine Jean-Pierre had an ounce of self-respect, she'd get off the plane in Africa today, where they're going, so he can avoid the press and resign. He's drained all of her credibility, and everybody else who's defended this, it's draining for them forever.
There are Democrats saying they're not.
Okay, you can't dismiss it any longer. Like, you can't sit here and do this fake game of, oh yeah, it's not happening. Oh yeah, American people are noticing, bro. They should already see it's crumbling, right? The walls are closing in. Remember, they try to make this narrative about Trump. Oh, the walls are closing in. He's gonna lash out. This is the media right now. These people, you know what they say? The Democratic Party. If you had to tell me, Kenny, if you could succinctly describe the current situation of the Democrats and the media, it's the pride goeth before the fall. Like, people see it already. Majority of people voted for Trump. So if Trump points out that this is a mischaracterization of justice, who is America most likely to believe? People who supported a party that lost the election, or the party that won the popular vote? The party that won the vote of majority of the American people. The party that swept all 7 swing states. Who's more like, think about it. But they're sitting here crying about, oh, we don't have a Joe Rogan. You had one. It's just y'all went. This is the funny part. Democrats, they don't want to hold themselves accountable. They don't want to self-reflect. And I hope they stand on this. 10 toes down on this. Keep it up. Because centrists, there's no way they should be falling for this. Like, there's no way in hell. Centrists should be saying, yeah, but you lied about this. And your excuse is somehow it's Trump's fault? You're not taking any accountability for this. And you're presenting yourself as the moral better of Donald Trump. You guys are the same. And this is what I'm talking about. This is why I say I rather trust the internet than the TV. The TV's telling me, oh yeah, no, this is no big deal. He's just trying to protect his son. Oh. But look at all the concerns the other side is bringing up. What's your counter for that? Oh, Trump's fault. Oh, okay. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, because this is insane. I had to cover this because this is some ridiculous ish. Yo, the media has shown that they have learned nothing. Hey, whatever. Hey, gives me more of a platform. Gives other people more of a platform. Continue pushing off people because they don't learn. The left don't learn. Like I said, these people only learn once they face consequences. But I digress. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How you felt that Scott Jennings handled it. I think he he destroyed this lady. But I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you guys watching the end of the video. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.